Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Ty from the Unemployed Architects. This week I just have really a couple shows to talk about, I think. So it would have been the 9th at Benny's Pizza Pub. No, I talked about those last week. Cruisins in Cypress Grove. A little bit of weirdness with Cruisins right from the get-go. They had a Christmas party there, and they were wondering like if I could maybe start later because all the tables were booked, and so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know whether I should be excited because there's more people there, but they were there for a purpose, so it's kind of a weird dynamic with me and the crowd. But ultimately, I think it was good. There was maybe more people than there would have been that were halfway into it, and I definitely, I don't know, I was talking about on the last podcast, I'd done it right after I played this show, just talking kind of about how it went okay, like it wasn't amazing. I don't feel like I cracked the room sound-wise, but there were some people that were into it, and I listened back, and there were some parts that were I thought it sounded pretty good. And then, so then after that, Cypress Grove Brewing, that was a weird one. That was the day I recorded the last podcast, and I was just so down. I mean, I apologize for the little pity party I was having, but Cypress Grove Brewing. It was actually a pretty fun show. It was kind of weird, though. Like, I definitely mismanaged my time prediction for how long it would take to get there. I don't know why. I should have been leaving an hour earlier than I thought, but I got it in my head that I needed to leave, like 3:15 to get there because it was an early show, 5 to 7. But it all worked out pretty good. It ended up, and I just played acoustic, no amplification. Like, it was pretty similar to that party I played the weekend before. And I mean, their little brewing company is very small, like where you actually get drinks and stuff. Last time they had me out in this like barn and really cool area, but it was kind of tough. It was summertime too, so even then it was kind of tough to get everybody to come from the bar to the second location. But this time I just played in the bar, and I just no amplification, just played completely unplugged, and the people there were very nice, and I felt like I sounded pretty good. It was very background music, I was kind of quiet, but I think it's better to go that way than the other, for if you got a longer set anyway. I mean, maybe if you're playing like a 30-minute set, you want to like get people's attention as fast as possible, but at a bar like the Cypress Grove Brewing Company, you probably people want to have conversations. That's why they're there. I did have a few people that came out specifically to see me, which was great. And then beyond that, it was kind of an early night, and ended up going pretty decent. And then I believe the day after that is when I went and did some recording with Jeff. That was pretty fun. We got a lot of stuff done on the song Digital Soul. And, so, I mean, we're a lot closer. I got, 2-ish months to complete it in my little prediction, or what I'm trying for a release, because I got the live album that releases this Friday, which I should probably mention plenty of times throughout this. But, yeah, so the live album, full 16-track album, comes out this Friday. It'll be under the TyJon Charlie on Spotify. Just TyJon Charlie. And, so that'll be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. I definitely think a lot of those songs turned out pretty fun and, high energy, which I think is cool. But anyway, so I had after that, I kind of had, so it was like 3 pretty decent days. Cruisins wasn't like, again, I didn't really crack the room like I would have liked, but it wasn't like mind-bendingly terrible or anything. And like I said, I watched the video, so it's like it was okay. I've been trying to stream every show. The Cypress Grove, I didn't stream, but it's just acoustic, so I felt like it sounded pretty solid, and the recording was a lot of fun. Then we had this winter storm, so I was supposed to play at the Uptown Station Thursday the 22nd before Christmas, which actually would have worked out great because I would have had 2 shows like I do normally, but Christmas Eve is on Saturday, which you pretty much never do a show on Christmas Eve unless somebody has a Christmas party or something. But and then Sunday, Christmas Day, obviously not going to have a show. So ideally, if it all worked out how it was supposed to, it would have been really really nice, like to kind of pad the upcoming trip down to Nashville. But winter storm came, which you can't really get too down about that. You can't control the weather. It was sub-zero temperatures and very very windy. So I understand about them canceling, but still bummed. You can't get around that a little bit. No matter what, you still kind of like and I've been preparing on some Christmas songs, so it's like I wanted a chance to kind of play them since that's really the only Christmas show I had. But beyond that, I played at Kilkenny's in Davenport, and they were really nice about like if you can't make the trip, we totally understand, and I still did, and for the most part, it wasn't too bad. There were just some times where you'd like lose visibility. I never went like maybe a few times I went close to like 60, 65, but I was not like in the trying to get in any sort of wreck or anything. So I was taking it pretty easy, and the winds blew too hard, or we had these little invisible sections or not low visibility sections that really just made it hard to see for depending on how fast you were driving, like you just you'd be 3 seconds you couldn't see anything, and that was kind of scary. So once you did one of those, you're like, all right, well, kind of gauge it, you look ahead, you can see whether you see the headlights, and there were just a few spots, and it was just really windy, I think, ultimately, but I made it there. And the roads in Davenport actually weren't great, so I saw a lot of people slipping and sliding around. So, and it's always a weird mind thing when you come off the interstate, because you're definitely going, even though it's still, roads aren't great, you're still going like way faster than you would. So to get like comfortable kind of driving to that speed, 15 or 10 in some spots, to try to avoid some slippage can be kind of rough. But I was grateful to get there, and very happy that all worked out. And I went really light on my setup, which is what I don't normally do there. Usually I go like full tilt, because that's just the way that it was told to me that I should when I first started playing there. So gauged it back a little bit, and I think it really sounded way better than normal. I had the JBL, just one of them, right up next to me. I had a little floor monitor, and I ended up playing some Christmas tunes, which kind of grabbed some for my sound check. It wasn't like I played a whole set of them or anything, but it was kind of it was December 23rd, so people were in that kind of spirit. So it they were like singing along in some parts, and I was playing Rudolph, and like a light bulb, they'd yell that out. But overall, I felt like that was a lot of fun. I had them for like maybe 5 or 10 more songs, and then slowly, the bar turnover changed. There were different people there, and it just kind of became more backgroundy for a while. And then there was this crew of people that came in that were really digging what I was doing and gave me a little bit of extra oomph as far as like maybe taking some more risks than I would normally. And they were all just very, very cool, and I had a really good time, and it was like I really needed that. So, it was a struggle, and maybe that's part of why I appreciated it so much, and that's why it was easier to kind of let loose. And I did watch the video of that, and I thought there were some okay spots that, maybe a little better than average. And this is a little side thing here. I've been working on this song that this bar specifically requested. Last time I had like 5 or 6 different requests for this guy. What is his name? Luke Bryan, I think, or I think that's who it is. Not Luke. What is it? Zach Bryan. I don't know why I always get his country name mixed with other country artists. Zach Bryan. So I've been working on this Zach Bryan song a little bit, and I just was like, well, this bar requests it, so no matter if it's not, fully formed or developed, if I play it, I feel like they will dig it, because I did recognize some of the people that I thought had requested it the last time. So I played it. It didn't go great. It wasn't like an amazing thing, but there were a little spot where I thought it sounded pretty good. So I was like, I post that up on Monday, and I know it wasn't great, and I said even in the post, like, there's a new cover I'm working on, not like it was done or anything, but which got a ton of views, which was kind of crazy. It was like 1.7 thousand, which for a YouTube short for mine anyway, are a lot. Not that in the scheme of things that's a lot, but you know, probably I think I ended up with 36 different people liking it, which was nice. Lots of views and everything. But I saw I had some comments that were not very friendly, and mostly just saying I should leave Zach Bryan songs to Zach Bryan or something of that accord. There were two separate ones, and I don't know, just kind of bums me out. Obviously, I can kind of think my way out of it and realize that it doesn't matter. And even I listened back to it, and I still feel like it sounds okay. Like it doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it was at a live bar, and it was the first time I ever played it, and definitely not a finished product. Definitely something I'm, in the midst of trying to get down. So it's like I'll wing it if I'm feeling pretty good. But I don't know. Like I said, it just kind of bummed me out a little bit. I thought it sounded all right, and I can kind of intellectualize it and know that like I should pay attention to the 32 people or 36 or whatever that liked it. But it's a hard thing to do. I mean, it's still kind of bums. It's just in the back of your mind, even though in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. And I've gotten plenty of good comments, a little bit here and there, and it just kind of helped put me back in my funk a little bit. Like, should I be doing this? But still doing it full throttle. So I don't know. Some excitement this next week with the live album release. I have the new TyJon Charlie page on Spotify. Another kind of little downer thing that I'm going to try to not dwell on too long. Effing Brew Company. I was supposed to play there on Friday, and apparently they closed a couple months back. So, nobody thought to send me a message about it or anything like that. So I guess this Effing Brew Company shirt that I have on is now vintage, and can't get them probably anywhere. But yeah, so that kind of puts a little bit of a hole in my schedule, which I don't like those. I feel like they just rattle around in my brain, like trying to, how could I do something to kind of fill that void? And obviously, I make money from playing a little bit, not much, but so it's 2 shows in 2 weeks that have been axed. So, it is what it is. Just only can roll with it. Just kind of a tough time with the Nashville thing coming up to, I might be sleeping in my car. I don't really know how it's going to go, but I'm going to do it. That's the main thing. I'm taking my car in to get checked out next week, so hopefully get really good news about that. And, the first show I have, I'm going to make a little bit of cash to kind of fund the rest of it, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little dicey. I think it's supposed to be a little warmer, so, I'm looking forward to that. It's been kind of, those sub-zero temperatures when you're loading in and loading out are just brutal. I mean, there's like nothing you can do. You can wear hats and gloves, and I don't have a solid like jacket or a coat, winter coat, but I can double up some jackets, and it just like does not do the work. But anyhow, so some exciting things, some not so exciting things. I guess that's just how it goes. You can't win them all, but just gotta press forward. Live album. After that, my first TyJon Charlie single, Will Magic Find Me? Oh, I got the Caveat Pawn Shop series. I gotta watch that. So, it was pretty good. I don't think... I think it sounded pretty solid. It's so hard to judge your own stuff. I mean, the parts that I think are good, part of me is always like, maybe you're just delusional and you think that they sound good, but they don't really, and people know that, and that's, I don't know. You can get in your head pretty hard about it, but there's a couple little weird spots here and there, but I tried the Will Magic Find Me song, and I don't know if I did a great job of that one, but I think Syrup and Digital Soul turned out pretty good. I played an original When You're Gone. Kyle played lead and sang like a little tiny bit of backup, and then we did one kind of completely doing harmonies the whole time for that song that the Wood Brothers cover called I Got Loaded. So it's cool to have that kind of on record, and Kyle kind of jams a little bit in that, so that's pretty cool. But other than that, I think that's it. Good things mostly. I gotta try to appreciate the good things. Like I said, having the good show on Saturday, I think, kind of picked me up a little bit. But negative comments also brought me back down. So maybe I'm just level. I don't really know, but I just know shouldn't care, don't care. But there's no way to not care at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a little, like, if nothing else, like an annoyance, because you know how much time you put into things, and just to have somebody like actually listen to it and then think that it sounds bad enough, or maybe there's trolls that like to say bad things. I didn't really look into it too far, but I just thought people would just be excited that I'm trying to learn a Zach Bryan song. I've gotten a lot of requests for that fellow. So, but anyhow, even though it's just a stupid thing, shouldn't care. No, I shouldn't care. It still is annoying that somebody would take their time to try to make me feel shitty for no reason when you can just swipe up and forget about it. But that's just people, I guess. Anyway. So, yeah, I have 2 shows on Saturday. They're going to be wild. Going St. Louis for the early day show, Evangeline's Bistro. It's been my spot down there. And then that's 12 to 2. And then I come back to Leroy for Houdini Spirits for New Year's Eve. So that is the game plan. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to need to make some tips to get down to Nashville, but we'll see what happens. It'll be an adventure. That's the main thing. It's, it can be fun. It can be anxiety ridden. It can be not so great sometimes, but it's still an adventure. It's still a story to tell, I guess. But yeah, I guess. Anyway, appreciate anybody who took the time to listen, and I will talk to you next time. All right, have a good one. Bye.